right-winger Lauren Boebert, who unfortunately is still in Congress, despite the fact that she's unfit to be in it, has decided to put out a new political ad. Keep in mind that she's one of these Republican lawmakers who's been crying and whining about having to go through metal detectors or having to leave her gun at home before going to the House floor. But she has decided to further put out violent messaging through this latest ad. I don't want to give too much away. Let's take a look at what she had to say there.
I'm Lauren Boebert, a mom, a small business owner, a defender of freedom. Here's what I know. You protect what you love. President Trump built a big, beautiful wall because he loves America. And he wanted to secure our country and protect us from drugs, illegal aliens pouring into our communities, and sex traffickers. Democrats, they fought him every step of the way. And now, welcome to Fort Pelosi, where Democrats decry walls from within their own heavily guarded razor wire wall. Democrats don't want to protect you because they don't care about you, but they'll spare no expense protecting themselves.
We will not build a wall.
No, there will not be another foot of wall constructed in my administration.
I'm not for a wall. I'm not for a wall.
It's time to cut the crap and remember, this is the people's house. Madam Speaker, tear down this wall.
So
Cool.
obviously the gunshot noise at the very end is ruffling some feathers for obvious reasons. I also find it interesting that she did give a nod to conspiracy theorists in that ad as well. And Lauren Boebert is known for flirting with right-wing conspiracies herself, so that only makes sense. John, what do you think about this? Big deal, not a big deal?
That was terrible. Like, was it better or worse than the Crenshaw thing? I don't know. But man, they all want to be so cool, so bad. And I don't know how to be cool, clearly. But I have learned that being incredibly try hard is not a good starting off point. This is just screaming, think that I'm cool. Like they want to be like a member of the squad. The thing is, do the members of the squad have cool ads? Yes, they do. But they also work and they know things. These are important characteristics as well. The gun thing is ridiculous. JR said this morning on the Damage Report that she ends all of her videos with the gun thing, which I don't think that that's better. I think that's just a different terrible thing than it only being in one. Maybe it's worse actually, since it's in all of them. But also, like, everything is so bad faith in this country. She is trying to present to her followers that the Democrats were against Trump's attempt to build a wall along our entire southern border because they're generally against walls. I don't want walls in this room, basically. I just want to have open holes with ceilings floating above them. No, that's not true at all. The Capitol was actually attacked. We could have a debate about how long the wall should be there, but at least it was attacked. If there were actual armies invading across the border, if a wall was an actual solution that wasn't stupid in that context and incredibly expensive, we might support it. There's other reasons other than not liking the concept of walls that the Democrats were against that particular big, beautiful wall that she's claiming he built, even though he mostly didn't.
No, he didn't build a wall. He totally reneged on that. He did spend quite a bit of money on building a portion of fencing, rebuilding a portion of fencing. What I also find really interesting about all of this is just like, so she says, look, do you guys remember when Nancy Pelosi and Representative Ocasio-Cortez were publicly feuding? Right, like they were like trading barbs. You had Nancy Pelosi give an interview to the New York Times where she was pretty salty toward AOC. And the reason why AOC was upset with Nancy Pelosi and more importantly, Democratic leadership was because they were willing to hand over $4 billion for border security. It was a blank check to Donald Trump. And I don't know where that money went, because clearly he didn't actually use it for the border wall, which I'm not complaining that he didn't actually build that wall, but I'm just saying that lots of mismanagement happening with the Trump administration. And this is why Democrats should never concede to Republicans. Like, why did Nancy Pelosi do that? Why did they agree to do that? Why did they hand over that money? So it's one lie after the next, ends with a gunshot, and that's America, folks. Like, that's the Republican Party. Obviously, that ad doesn't appeal to us, but it's not for us. I think the problem is that kind of ad does appeal to a significant portion of our electorate. And it's worrying because they love the violent imagery, they love the violent rhetoric, they love immediately deflecting when they engage in any violence themselves by blaming it on made up groups. It's exactly what we got after the insurrectionists causing all that violence on January 6th. Like, oh, it wasn't them, it wasn't the Trump supporters, it was Antifa. Never take responsibility, never acknowledge the right-wing extremism that's been taking place in this country that's actually led to people getting killed. It's led to mass shootings. It's led to Walmarts getting shot up by Trump supporters who bought into the fear-mongering about immigrants. These people exist, they're here, and they love that kind of ad. And that's really the worrying stuff.
Yeah, I don't doubt at all that they'll love it. Although I would ask any fan of Lauren Boebert in the audience, you're a conservative not because you love the xenophobia and racism and homophobia and misogyny. That's not true. You're a conservative because you have economic anxiety and the Democrats have abandoned you. Only the Republicans actually get your concerns. And where were those concerns echoed in that ad? Did she say anything about the fact that your job went away, or the factory closed down, or you don't have insurance, or your kids can't go to school, or you might lose your house? Any of that? Are you worried about retirement? Is she addressing any of the issues that you swear to God are the things that motivate your political behavior, and not just fear-mongering, racism, and a mixture of hates and jealousies? Because the ad seems to think you're the one you say you're not. And the one that you say that you are, a person who's motivated by actual economic concerns that those damn libs can't understand, she's not trying to appeal to that person.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.